Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Trader Spotlight. I am Tim Bowen, lead trainer with StocksToTrade. You know, we do a lot on this channel. We like to bring you how-to trade recaps, trade ideas. We go live, and then we also cover a lot of stuff like this where, you know, a lot of traders that are learning this stuff along with you are hopefully are further ahead in the journey than you, and then you can learn a lot of the steps on how to get there with them. So that's what we're going over today with Jack Kellogg. Welcome back. How's it going, my man?
It's going pretty well. The market's been pretty insane this year, and I was just pretty blessed to just have a job right now that is secure, and I can just do it from my home. So just been a wild year, man. Not too many words to sum it up. I mean, so many things.
Well, what I'd like to start with is, you know, and this is something that, you know, as I mentioned in the introduction, when I first met you, you know, we got talking about, you know, I always joke. I grew up, you know, I had a lot of comic books as a fan. You know, we all watch the superhero movies. So you talk about that origin story. And that was something that really blew me away, hearing about how you actually got started in trading. So let's talk about that a little bit. Like number one, what even drew you to trading?
So for me, growing up through high school and school, I was never good at reading, writing, spelling, and I'm still not very good at it. I was just kind of good at quick math, and I kind of understood money and how to grow money and those kind of things. So after I graduated high school, I thought that firefighting would be a decent little job for me because, you know, you get to hang out in a firehouse with all your friends and help people. I just thought that would kind of suit me, and then I would have the days off to do a separate business. And eventually, at first I wanted to do real estate and have some houses, and my dad's very handy, so he could be my property manager, and we can kind of just be in business together and own some real estate to potentially get financially free. But then I realized that I just didn't have money to just start buying houses and stuff. So I kind of had to think how I could turn my, you know, 10 to 20K that I had saved up through a valet job. Started that job when I was about 16 and just worked as much as I could through high school. There were some weeks where I worked like 95 hours at the Travelers Championship, and I just would work as much as I can if I could get the overtime and the tips. And that really started adding up late in my high school, like senior year and junior year. I worked a lot, and I was able to save up a decent chunk of change. And then I wanted to get invested into some stocks because I thought that I could make some money there, then move it over to real estate. So I was in the process of opening up a Robinhood account. This was January of 2017, because it was kind of like my New Year's resolution to get invested in the stock market. And I ran in front of one of my old childhood friends that kind of went to a different high school as me, so we lost connection and didn't talk too much. But he basically said that he was into trading too. So it's one of those conversations where you just start talking at the gym and you just completely forget about your workout and everything. So we started talking, and I told him I was going to buy some stocks. What do you think I should buy? And he basically told me he was doing day trading. And I was like, day trading? Like, what does this even mean? And he told me, like, Tim Sykes and these stocks are going up thousands of %. I was just like, whoa, what's going on? So I went home later that night.
Which is funny, as wild as 2017 was, it's like a 2 on a scale of the 10 we're in right now. But anyway,
yeah,
keep going.
It's insane. So basically, I watched some of his video lessons, and the most recent, most popular ones were the shipping sector when DRYs went from 5 to 100. So I immediately saw that, and I was intrigued by how a stock could do that kind of volatility, because the only thing I knew was, you know, buy and hold these stocks and good companies and fundamentals and all this stuff, because that's kind of what you're just taught as a human being and just normal person. They just talk about investing.
Well, and, you know, in the quote unquote mainstream media. Now it's funny, you know, now it's kind of changed, especially with like guys like Dave Portnoy's Barstool and stuff. I think penny stocks are out there way more. But yeah, I had a similar story. You know, until I found Tim Sykes, I just thought stocks moved, you know, 2% or 5%, or, oh, wow, maybe 10% a day, unless they got like bought out or something. I never knew that every day there's 100, 200, 500% runners until I found Tim. Yeah.
Yeah. So I basically just got obsessed, and I knew probably like day 2, 3, 4 that like this was who I was going to be. This is what I was going to do. And I basically just kept saving up my money and kept studying all of 2017 because I didn't have enough to trade above the PDT rule yet. I only had about 10,000 to my name around this time. And basically from there, I just studied and I paper traded a little bit. I just kind of got a feel for it. In work, when I was working, I would just keep headphones on and I would just move the cars and just listen to Chat with Traders, Tim Sykes video lessons. Now we have Beyond the PDT and StocksToTrade interviews. Just so many traders are out there that you can just listen to and just kind of get an idea for and just kind of get inspired. And that's how I kind of started my journey. And then in 2018, I had saved up enough money after continuing my valet job, trying to sell some stuff at a mall late 2017. And at the mall, I was stuck there at a kiosk selling bamboo products, bamboo pillows, bamboo sheets, some products. And basically I was just on my laptop the entire time and I was just watching the market the entire day. And I was seeing the opportunity into the close there with all the crypto stocks and the wheat stocks. And that was the first round of volatility that I witnessed.
Now, thank you for that. Now, this is where, and I knew this is where I was going to head. So this is where my agenda comes into play. Okay. So, I've always been, and this is something, I tell your story all the time, man. I'm twice as old as you. Hell, I don't know. I might be 3 times older. I am like 69 and a half now, but, I always, as soon as I could like mow lawns, I was mowing lawn. I got my first job the day I turned 16, bagging groceries at the grocery store. I was still mowing lawns while I was doing that. I was always trying to do more at the grocery store to get a raise, to make more money. So it's like, I always had that entrepreneurial mindset. And man, you really have that too. Now, do you know where that came from? Did that come from your dad? Did it come from an uncle? Did you just have it? I don't, what do you think?
My dad definitely know. My dad is, he's a very good electrician and he does his side work, but he likes just kind of working for someone and not having to deal with like that overhead and stuff.
Sure.
And my mom, she's not really into it either. It just kind of naturally formed in me. And I did read this one book, the only book that I've read in my life. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And
Great.
I read that. And
recommend it. Yep.
Yeah, it just kind of gave me a different perspective on just money and finances and stuff like that. And from there, I just like to keep myself busy and always doing something, always trying to get better. I was big into the gym in high school too, and I love going the most out of all my friends. I love going every single day, doing the best stuff that I could, and just always trying to grow, always trying to progress. That's just kind of my mindset. Like every day I want to be getting better, and if I'm not getting better, I'm getting worse.
Love it. And, I did an a YouTube live last night. And so people, it's an open Q&A. And one of the questions was, hey, how do you deal with, burnout in trading and how do you keep your energy up and stuff? And this was, literally last night. I'm not, sometimes, this isn't marketing. I got this question last night. And I went on this big rant where I'm just like, man, it's gotta be in you. You gotta, now I don't know how to tell you how to get that passion, but when I started learning day trading in 2007, I was getting up at 4 a.m. every day. I'm still doing it 15 years later. And man, you got it. I think back to when we talked, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 years ago. I remember like ending the call on the podcast. I'm like, man, this kid's got it, freaking got it, man. The go-getiveness, the hustling. I know hustling sometimes gets a bad term, but to me, a hustler is a good term. That's somebody that's doing valet while listening to video lessons and selling, bamboo pillows at the mall because, he wants to make himself better. He wants to make money. Listen, they say money's the root of all evil, but you can't do crap without money. The world, unless you're going to be a monk or something. So that hustling mindset is something that I think I've always greatly, respected out of you. And I think that's why, you're where you're at, living your dream because of the fact that you were willing to park cars 90 hours a week and sell pillows at the mall at the same time.
Yeah, and I always like keep myself busy. I get very bored. Like I don't know what to do if I'm not doing something. It's like, okay, like what am I supposed to do? Like I get like antsy.
One of my favorite sayings is, my least favorite thing to do is nothing. I never understand I can't understand these people who are like, man, I can't wait for the weekend to like sit around and watch football for 12 hours. I'm like, oh yeah, for real? That's your goal? I'm like, no, give me a project. I mean, that's why I do handyman projects on the weekend, man. It's like, you got 80 years on this planet, man. It's not about watching football 12 hours a day, man.
Yeah. And that's really cool. You go outside and you're just building your compound up almost. You got your, all that stuff out there, and you just keep yourself busy, and that's awesome.
So, man, Jack, I really appreciate you jumping on this video, and to the listener or the viewer out there, I'm telling you, there's, a couple of the biggest things I want you to take from this. I mean, I don't care if you're young or old, you're never too late to get started. I mean, here is Jack, 3 years in, crushing it, doing great. Now, obviously the market is hot, but I tell you, I don't think the market's going to change any soon. My opinion is this is just the new normal. I mean, I know a lot of old gray-haired day traders like me are like, oh, it's going to come to an end. And I don't think it is. I mean, there is just so much. I mean, it's like, for whatever reason in the last year or so, trading has just been like ingrained into the American culture. I just don't think it's like it used to be like this niche. And now, I mean, I just see quote unquote normal people on the street that are talking about trading. And so it's never too late to get started. If you're young, follow Jack's example, man. Hustle any way you can. That's how you achieve your dream. I mean, I'm a big reader of books, but at the end of the day, you can read every book about self-improvement. If that rubber doesn't hit the road, you're never going to get there. So hustle every day, study every day. Just like Jack said, try and be the best version of yourself, and you'll be living the dream. I mean, he's got no worries during the coronavirus stay at home. He was already working from home. He's not worried about whether or not he's going back to work. He's got a skill set, just like his electrician dad, that he can apply anytime. So again, thank you, Jack. Thanks again. And to all of you listening out there or watching, as I mentioned, be sure to ring that bell, subscribe to be notified as soon as we drop these videos. I mean, we do a lot of awesome stuff on this channel, and I want you there.